Oh boy, let's do this thing. It's a New Orleans. Well, maybe. Yeah, you right. Monday afternoon in the Crescent City. I gotta laugh. If you go to my Twitter at Corey Johnson, where you can check out this program, I posted a little short clip of some, condensation from airplanes, from jets. They're flying at high altitude. The hot exhaust from the jet engine hitting the cold air at the high altitude produces a condensation trail. Been doing this forever, since I was a little tot. And, I posted a video about chemtrails, and I'm getting drowsy and I'm about to pass out. Mario, you want to play that on the air? Can we play that clip on the air?
Yes.
Play this clip on the air. This is me earlier, like 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago.
Chemtrails. Friggin' chemtrails. They're trying to poison us. 3 chemtrails. Straight up around. Look at that one under the curved one going as we speak. The one across right under the sun. Chemtrails.
Yeah.
That's a drop right there. Chemtrails.
Now, read some of the replies, Mario, on the that people posted.
X.com.
Yep.
Are people getting dumber, or have flat earthers and conspiracy theorists always been this dumb? And we're finding out about them now. They have the internet as a platform to broadcast their stupidity. So maybe that guy thinks you're serious.
Yeah.
Another guy says Florida admits it and laws have been passed about it.
Yep.
That's interesting. Yeah, interesting.
And then what about the guy like Marrero? I have headaches.
Oh, yeah, this guy. That's why I have a headache.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
He's following the chemtrail, like extending your video, I guess.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Aliens everywhere, man.
I often talk about loony leftists and wacky right wingers. Louisiana, Florida, actually passing laws about chemtrails. Mario, real quick, where's the airport or air facility where they're loading the chemicals into these planes? Wouldn't there be videos somewhere of them loading the chemicals into the planes? Wouldn't there some video of that?
You would think.
And where are the planes with these big tanks? I mean, if you zoom in, it says like Delta, I don't know. Southwest, British Airways. I don't know. It doesn't say, nothing in some big tanker plane. It's all commercial airlines, essentially. But Louisiana passed legislation. So did Florida. Now, that's just wacky right wingers actually believe in this crap and people commenting on it. And I'm the fool for not believing it's going on. Chemtrails. Unbelievable. It's really crazy. By the way, and I'm dead serious. I was going to Trey the other day. I saw the Loch Ness Monster in Lake Pontchartrain. Serious. I saw the Loch Ness Monster in Lake Pontchartrain. When I got to the North Shore, I was driving down, Causeway on the North Shore. There's some piney woods, some pine tree type forests, and Bigfoot, I swear, Bigfoot stuck his head out. And then I almost wrecked the car picking up a to-go order from Trey Yen because the boogeyman jumped out in front of my vehicle. By the way, the earth is flat, and we'll prove it in the 5 o'clock hour. Wow. Chemtrails. These comments are going to be spectacular on my Twitter at Corey Johnson. Chemtrails are a-coming. All right. Finally, we have some hope for New Orleans. I want to be positive and optimistic. I'm serious. Because it's like any problem you have in life. When you solve it, you look back and go, wow, why did it take long to solve that problem? Why was I so concerned about it? Now I've solved it. Things are great. I mean, one day, New Orleans has to turn the tide. One day, things are going to start working right. Now, I know for the last 40 years, literally, since the early to mid 80s, before Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx, was born, the bottom fell out of New Orleans' economy. And unlike Texas that diversified their economy, we have done very little to diversify our economy, and we continue to struggle. That's why so many of your friends, family members, relatives, whatever, acquaintances live elsewhere. I got 4 brothers and sisters. 2 of them do not live in Metro New Orleans. My oldest brother lives in London. My oldest sister lives in Charlottesville, Virginia. My brother, I'm the youngest, the middle brother and sister, both older than me, but not the oldest. They live in New Orleans still, like me. I had about 12, 13, 14 groomsmen when I got married. Half of them, all native New Orleanians, half of them live outside the city. My buddy Jeff lives in Birmingham. My buddy Chris lives in Los Angeles. My buddy Alfred lived in Denver and then Dallas. My buddy Russell lived in New York, now the Florida Panhandle, building a $200 million development. Let's see. Who else? It's mind-blowing. People have left because the opportunities elsewhere are normal. You go to almost any city USA, and they have a vibrant economy. It's easier to name the cities you don't want to move to. Like even Detroit's sort of getting their you-know-what together. But I'm not saying move to Detroit. But, I mean, it's hard to come up with a city. I mean, seriously. New York, Philly, Boston, D.C., Atlanta, Dallas, Houston, Miami, Jacksonville, Charlotte, Nashville, Austin, Phoenix, Denver, Portland, Seattle, San Diego, Los Angeles. Yeah, it's tiring. San Francisco, you name a city, you could move there and get a job in your profession and make more money. You're going to miss the po' boys and the gumbo and the culture and all that. But, man, it is tiring sometimes living in New Orleans. Often I'm like, Corey, when you were offered that radio gig in Houston 20 years ago, you should have taken it. When you were offered that Nashville radio job, you should have taken it. When you were offered that job in Atlanta, you should have taken it. When you were offered that job in Denver, you should have taken it. Now, I don't have any regrets, really. I love New Orleans. I'm all in, people. I've been doing this 30 plus years. I love the city, trying to hold people accountable. So I'm hopeful there's actually some expectations, but just the last few days have kind of scared me a little bit. Helena Moreno sworn in as the 63rd mayor of New Orleans. The Junket Cantrell era is officially over. Now Junket Cantrell is like, as low as it gets. Just an absolutely horrendous mayor. Terrible. I don't think a good human being, selfish, belligerent, out for herself. Not out for us. You're supposed to be a leader. No leadership skills. You're supposed to have civic duty. No civic duty. Working for herself, not us. So we could have elected a snowball and it would have been better. A cinder block. It would be better than Junket Cantrell. I have hope with Helena Moreno. She's very smart. She is honest. She's not going to steal or set up friends or family. She has her own money. Her and her husband do very well. But I believe it was yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, she gave some culture bearer, certificates out, which this culture bearers thing is a bunch of BS, okay? This is Junket Cantrell appeasing and placating local New Orleanians, just her choice. And actually, at one point, I think she gave taxpayer money, like a check from the city of New Orleans. We're in financial, hardship right now. She's writing checks to culture bearers, like the, Mardi Gras Indians. Do you think I'm against Mardi Gras Indians? I love our culture. It's one of the reasons I stay here. I love the Mardi Gras Indians. I look forward every Mardi Gras day to either going down there myself or like LBJ from Channel 26, who I worked with, who I've been friends with in radio for over 30 years. I started working in sports talk radio in the mid 90s, early 90s. LBJ was at Q93. We've known each other a long time. I look forward to his posts on X, on Twitter. Every Mardi Gras morning, he's out there while it's still dark, when the Mardi Gras Indians are getting their, putting putting on the attire, getting things going, the Skull and Bones crew, all that stuff. I love it. I live it. I breathe it. I love New Orleans. That's why I'm still here. Those people are great. They're fantastic. They're like a lot of us. But this culture bearers thing is, I don't know, it's sort of, I think it's kind of silly in a way. I mean, who are the culture bearers? I'm one, right? I mean, I think about like Ed Michel, the inspector general, saving the city tens of millions of dollars. He would be a culture bearer, right? So I'm not knocking the Mardi Gras Indians. It has nothing to do with them. It's the public officials that come up with this nonsense. Helena Moreno, I think Noonie Man Belden Baptiste, who is sort of legitimately off kilter, like he got biffed in the head. He is not mentally right. He gets a culture bearer certificate. You know, I got nothing against Noonie Man. I know him. He knows me. I just think, Noonie Man's a little kooky. He's a little crazy. And he gets a culture bearer certificate. I mean, so that kind of concerns me with Helena Moreno. And then Kamala Harris swore in Helena Moreno today. I don't know. I just think that sends like a bad message in a way, kind of, especially to like half the population. She was the losing candidate for president. Corey Johnson trying to be positive, I swear, coming right back. Call us up.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com. Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
You're on the neutral ground. with Corey Johnson.
Yeah, look, I'm not against Kamala Harris. I don't hate Kamala Harris. I didn't vote for Kamala Harris, and I didn't vote for Donald Trump either. I got to live the rest of my life, and to me, I got to feel good about myself. And if I would have voted for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, I wouldn't have felt good about myself. I felt I would have sold out my own ethics, morals, integrity. I didn't like either one. But Kamala Harris lost. And Kamala Harris, by definition, is like very liberal and very woke. And that's fine. But by having Helena Moreno have Kamala Harris swear her in, it just sort of doubles down on, hey, I'm really liberal and I'm woke. I mean, if I'm Helena Moreno in a city that is dysfunctional, in a city that doesn't have a conservative Republican anywhere in sight, I would have gotten a conservative Republican to swear me in. You know, I remember I had Royce Duplessis in studio live. I had Oliver Thomas on the show multiple times. I said, you guys want to win the election? Tell the public right now, at least 25% of your staff's going to be conservative Republicans. Just 25%. 1 out of 4 people on your staff, 1 out of 4 advisors. And I think Helena Moreno should embrace that. And I don't see that. I see the opposite, just more of this really hardcore left stuff. And I hope I'm wrong. You know, I had Michael Hecht on back on Friday. He said he knows for a fact that Helena Moreno is meeting with conservative Republicans, has lunch and dinner with conservative Republicans, and is going to have their ideology, their input in this next administration. I've yet to see it. I hope I'm wrong, because if we keep going down this, you know, strictly Democrat, liberal, and I have nothing against Democrats or liberals. I'm an independent. I like both sides, but it hasn't worked. I don't like all or nothing. I don't like all Republican. That's why Louisiana suffers as a state. And I don't like all liberal. And that's why New Orleans has been broken for 40 plus years. There's not a conservative Republican that's elected, anointed, appointed anywhere in New Orleans government. And not having that other view, the opposing view, a different point of view is a major problem in New Orleans. And I think Helena Moreno, I'm not trying to be nitpicky, but when I saw that Kamala Harris swore her in, I was like, why? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? It just makes me think, hey, I'm telling you why. I'm a liberal. I'm woke. I'm really hardcore left. And that we're going to continue that. And that concerns me. That concerns me. So I know you're like, God, Corey, what happened to trying to be optimistic and you have hope and expectations? I'm trying to be optimistic. I do have hope finally, and I do have expectations, but I think half of it's because Junket Cantrell's gone, and the other half is I like Helena Moreno. I think she's smart, and I don't think she's crooked. But you know, Mike Foster was smart, and Mike Foster wasn't crooked. And I think a lot of us are like, wow, no more Edwin Edwards. We've got an honest governor. But, you know, when Mike Foster's like, you don't need to travel outside the state to lure in business, while Alabama and Mississippi's giving, like, you know, the Toyota executive a cell phone that you just hit send and it dials the governor directly. And they're like, I remember, we don't care what time it is. We don't care about the time change. Call me at 4 a.m. I'll answer that phone. It's always in my pocket. Alabama didn't have a single automotive job 30 years ago. They've got like 15% of all automotive jobs in the United States of America, multiple car plants and parts facilities. Mississippi, I think a couple of car plants in Mississippi. So something's got to change dramatically. It can't just be, I'm not crooked and I'm smart and we're going to push this liberal or conservative, loony left, wacky right, you know, ideology or initiative forward. It bummed me out. The Noonie Man thing and the culture bearer thing's just silly and ridiculous. And you're like propping up people that really are incapable of helping New Orleans, and not the Mardi Gras Indians, like Noonie Man. And again, I'd like to say he's just harmless, but he's kind of not. Think about the recall, how dysfunctional and broke at that. Eileen Carter, You know, I admit I got fooled. I had her on the program all the time talking about the recall, you know, because I got suckered. I've said this a lot. People believe what they want to believe, what they hope is true, not following the facts. I got suckered in. I was believing what I wanted to believe, what I hoped was true. And Eileen Carter fooled me right up until the end, never giving out numbers. And then when the count came in, it was all broken and they didn't dot the I's or cross the T's. And what do you expect? It's Eileen Carter and Noonie Man Batiste doing the recall. It was great they got it started. Someone had to start it, but they should have backed out and got someone competent to run it, and we might have had a chance. No, it's disheartening. Hey, the phone number is 766-9480. I know I'm trying to be optimistic, and I know it's like, boy, there goes Corey, pessimistic and negative. It's the first day of Helena Moreno, and he can't stay positive. No, the Kamala Harris thing just kind of bent me in the wrong direction. It's like, boy, I'm her advisor. I say, no, not Kamala Harris. You can have her there if you want. Great. You're friends with her. She likes you. You like her. That's great. And Kamala Harris isn't stupid. She's smart. I just don't like her as a politician. You know, I don't think she's effective. Clearly not qualified to be president of the United States of America. So if I was advising, you know, Helena Moreno, I'd been like, let's find a conservative Republican to swear you in. Send the message that on day one, when you're getting inaugurated, that you're going to change the way the mayor's office and city government in New Orleans does business. It's not going to be exclusively liberal and Democrat, because that has failed us for decades and decades and decades. And I'm not saying you have to be a Republican-led mayor or city, because Helena Moreno is a Democrat and a liberal. That's fine. But my God, this sort of stuff just sort of makes me a little skeptical, to say the least. If I was Helena Moreno, 1 out of 4 advisors, 1 out of 4 appointees, 1 out of 4, 25%, 75%, 3 out of 4 are going to be your liberal Democrat friends or people that you trust that are liberal and Democrats. 1 out of 4 Republican. Hopefully we see that. Hopefully we see that. I wish Jay Batt was alive today. Jay Batt would be a guest on my show right now. Jay Batt would be a guest on my show right now. Now, this is kind of funny. I posted on Twitter, you know, there were some condensation trails from some commercial jet airliners, and I posted that it's chemtrails, and some of the replies were, one was, Florida passed legislation like it's legit. And another guy says, I'm on the West Bank right now under one and I've got headaches. And you wonder why New Orleans is broken and dysfunctional? They believe in chemtrails. Now you could say, Corey, Florida's not broken or dysfunctional. No, they're winning. And a friend of mine says, she could have Kamala Harris. She could have a bunch of transgender folks. She could have a pro-abortion rally. As long as the city was moving in the right direction. And by my friend, that was Mario Brothers, telling me during the break, I almost peed in my pants when he said it. I had to write it down. I didn't want to forget anything he said. No, as long as we're winning, you could have a socialist. You could have a communist as mayor, as long as the city has a booming economy, vibrant economy, and things are going well. Seriously. Oh, boy. I swear, a few hours ago, I was pretty optimistic. And then I saw a Kamala Harris thing, and I was like, oh, boy. Corey Johnson with you, telling it like it is. Like I said, I'm a registered independent. 766-9480. Who would claim to be an independent that isn't? Who would claim to be a Democrat that's not? Who would claim to be a Republican that's not? What advantage do I gain by saying I'm that? And before I ever got into radio, before I stepped on the LSU campus, coming right out of high school, I was a senior in high school. Time to register to vote. Time to register for the draft. I registered as other, independent. I was like, I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. Neither one of those groups, you know, I feel comfortable being affiliated with. And I'm not knocking you people that are Democrats or Republicans at all. I'm talking about me personally. Just didn't feel comfortable. And so I've been an independent since I was 18. Am I faking it? Am I lying? I'm in denial about it. I'm really a liberal. I'm really a conservative. I know this. Wacky right-wingers, the wacky right-wingers, not moderate, regular conservative Republicans, they think I'm liberal. And loony leftists, not mainstream Democrats or regular liberals, they think I'm conservative. I've had that going on my whole life. All that does is justify my thinking that, Corey, you are an independent. You're pretty moderate. Your voting record, lots of Republicans you voted for, lots of Democrats. I don't vote by party. I vote by who I like. I try to follow the facts, not the ideology. Finally, some hope, expectations for New Orleans. Love to hear from you. Set me straight. We don't screen calls and we won't cut you off. Agree or disagree? 766-9480. 766-9480. I probably would end a call with someone, being overly nice to me. Like, okay, I got the point. You like what I do, and I appreciate it. Thanks. Like, just over and over, like saying, well, you're great, Corey. We love what you do. I'd probably be like, thank you. Got to go now. But the person that disagrees with me, has a different point of view than me, I'll never cut those people off. Unless we're going 10 minutes long and it's just circular argument, Hey, let's agree to disagree. That nonsense. Agree to disagree. That's the worst comment ever. Agree to disagree. So silly. Helena Moreno sworn in as the 63rd mayor of New Orleans. The Junket Cantrell era is officially over. Everyone can agree on that, left or right. That's a positive. 766-9480. And Junket Cantrell was at the inauguration today. I was shocked. I figured she wasn't going to show up at all. Figured it'd be like 9:30. She'd be at some hotel bar slamming cocktails. 766-9480. Don't be scared to call. Like I'm saying, Helena Moreno, you need some conservative point of view. I need you helping to come up with your point of view and let the people hear it. 766-9480. Corey Johnson with you till 6. Every day, this program on radio, TV, social media, brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kennebra, home of the big store, Lamarck Ford, and the #1 Lincoln dealership in the state, and also Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Elmwood, your commercial truck, van, and SUV dealer. If you got to have a fence, you got to see the Fence Man, a locally owned, fully insured fencing company serving the metro New Orleans area for over 20 years. You got to see the Fence Man, thefenceman-neworleans.com.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
As New Orleans as coffee in the morning and as New Orleans as coffee in the morning and raw oysters for lunch. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City, Corey Johnson back at you. An equal opportunity praiser and basher. Today, I'm driving into work, or actually it was a little earlier than that. And I saw some, commercial aircraft, with people on board. And they had a condensation trail. Oh, boy, really? Jesus H. What a nightmare. Anyway, I saw some condensation trails from aircraft, and I posted this kind of wacky video that I put on Twitter, on X. It's chemtrails. It's chemtrails. Oh, I'm getting drowsy. I'm falling asleep. That kind of thing. And obviously it was just a joke and fun. And some of the replies were, you can make fun of this. I'm on the West Bank right now. I'm having a headache because of the chemtrails. Florida passed legislation about the chemtrails. I kind of like proof and facts behind things. Wouldn't there be videos or photographs of some big tanker trucks pulling up to a plane that's equipped with big tanks? Like, something that a plane that sprays water for forest fires or something like that. But they're loading chemicals into that plane instead. Where are the videos and the, photos of that going on? Where are these planes that have these huge tanks to spray the chemicals? The logical, easy conclusion is exhaust from a jet aircraft at high altitude where the air's thinner and colder produces a condensation trail, like exhaust. Instead, people that want to believe what they want to believe, think they're chemtrails out there. And the federal government is poisoning us or manipulating us. They're trying to influence us. So I guess and this is more wacky right-wingers in this case than loony leftists. I don't know too many liberals that believe in the chemtrails. Most of the people that, I don't know anyone that believes in them, but, the people that do appear to be really hardcore right. So Donald Trump hasn't clamped down on that. I mean, Donald Trump's president. There should be no chemtrails ever anymore, right? He controls the government. He would have stopped that nonsense. But instead, nothing's changed at all. It's weird. There's many chemtrails now under the weather conditions that, as you'd see since I was a tot, nothing's changed at all. Why haven't we seen a change in that? Mari, I'm going to do this. This is maybe the best way to do this. Let's see.
Chemtrails, friggin' chemtrails. They're trying to poison us. 3 chemtrails straight up around. Look at that one on the curved one going as we speak. The one across right under the sun. Chemtrails.
All right. So that was a video I posted a little while ago, and the replies are hysterical. Florida chemtrail bill clears the Senate. Florida admits it, and laws have been passed about it. Like, okay. Louisiana has a chemtrail law too, because I don't know. I guess they're trying to appease wacky right wingers in that case. Another guy, Marrero today. That's why I have a headache. And he's shooting video of a few chemtrails in the air. Marrero today. That's why I have a headache. Yeah, they're focusing in on Marrero. Wow. Unbelievable. Let's see. Because they actually did it lawfully, not out here dragging people out of school, middle of traffic, or riding around like a gang looking for a target. Maybe just, I don't know what that means. Anyway. No, I swear we live in a pretty dysfunctional city and state. And I think the reason's pretty clear. The people in charge of New Orleans and Louisiana historically have been extremists, extreme left and extreme right. And I think most places have a little bit of both and a little bit of not so extreme left and right, more moderate Republicans and Democrats running things. And it goes back and forth. Most cities, most states, it goes back and forth with Democrats, Republicans. It's sort of just cyclical. You know, whoever's popular, it fades out after a while. They're not doing so well. People vote the other way. And then the process, it just keeps repeating itself. Most places, I rattled off a big list of cities. Easier to name the cities that are doing well than aren't. And we haven't been for like 40 years in New Orleans and Louisiana too. We've been on a downward spiral. Louisiana's population the last 40 years, stagnant, the same, no growth. New Orleans population the last 40 years, stagnant, no growth. So you can be like, Corey, it's not the Republicans' fault. It's not the Democrats' fault. No, it's extremists on both sides' fault. And that's why people don't move here. College graduates don't move here. Companies don't come here because of the extreme nature of how we do business in Louisiana and New Orleans. New Orleans, loony left. Louisiana, wacky right. 766-9480 is the phone number. Love to hear from you. 766-9480. This is kind of mind-blowing. J.D. Vance says ICE agent Jonathan Ross has absolute immunity. Absolute immunity. Why have an investigation then? Trump, Vance, Noem say the killing was justified. Real quick, I want to ask you this. If the ICE agent was justified, isn't that saying the Capitol Police in D.C. on January 6th could have shot and killed protesters? If the ICE agent was justified, wouldn't the D.C. police be justified in shooting and killing hundreds of protesters on January 6th? 766-9480. Let's head to Slidell. Steve joins us on the program. What you say, Steve?
What up, Corey?
What up, bro?
I guess it's nice to have somebody not under federal indictment in the mayor's chair.
Very nice. Yep. No, that is nice. I mean, like I said, we could have a cinder block, a snowball as mayor, and it would, I'm serious. Some object that obviously can't do anything, can't think, can't function. It would be an improvement over Junkie Cantrell because we were going backwards with her.
You know, I hope, and I don't align politically with Helena Moreno, but she seems capable, competent. That's really, I think, and she has some integrity, and I think that's really all anybody can ask. I just hope when for these junkets that Cantrell took, and I'm sure there's some value in some of those trips.
Nope.
Send a deputy.
Nope. There's no positive or anything good of that you can't point, Steve, to a single dollar or job created in New Orleans from those junkets. So no, I can't agree with you on that.
Let me rephrase. I'm sure there could be something positive to come from them.
Oh, no.
The right person.
No. Jeff Landry went to South Korea and got the Hyundai steel plant. He doesn't go to South Korea with the, marketing team, for Louisiana. That probably doesn't happen. So, no, but that's not a junket. That's a legitimate government trip to help the state.
Well, I just hope Helena sends it, maybe just for the optics, sends a deputy or something that can deliver. I'm sure a lot of those trips, the ink is really the trip is just a formality. Like the deal is done, and maybe send a deputy. I don't know, man. Just the optics of staying home and taking care of business at home would be good. Just being around, being present.
I don't think Helena Moreno is going to pull a junket Cantrell and go on unnecessary trips on the city's dime ever. Helena Moreno has the wherewithal to pay for her own vacations and trips. So, LaToya Cantrell is like, how can I take advantage of this? I'm the mayor. We can go travel. I can do these, justifying it like it's a climate change thing or something. Junkie Cantrell has no idea about climate change. None. I know more about it than she does. You know more about it than she does. She's a clown. She's a joker. She just tries to justify crooked, lame, unethical, immoral behavior. I agree with you when you said, capable, competent, honest. I don't think Helena Moreno will go on a single junket.
Well, the flipping off the Mardi Gras crew is really what sealed it. I mean, you can list her myriad of transgressions, but that just kind of like sealed it. Like there was just no recovering from that. I don't care what, and then the indictment just kind of all that piled on. But
no, and that that face and the mean, vindictive attitude. It's Mardi Gras. She's the mayor. Helena Moreno's going to get, her chops busted. I mean, yeah, I think it was the Golden Globes. I just saw a clip. I didn't watch the Golden Globes. I don't care to watch that. If you do, that's great. I don't. But I think it was Nikki Glazer was one of the hosts or something, and she was like, said something to Leonardo DiCaprio. You've won an Oscar, Golden Globes, and the most amazing thing, you did it before your girlfriend turned 30. Because he dates young women, and he's laughing. He's laughing at it. He's not taking it personally. Junkie Cantrell sees that float. She flips off the parade. Just an insecure lunatic, and probably had a buzz going at the time.
You got to have thick skin in that role. If you can't handle the heat, get out the kitchen. But
so right.
Anyway, love the show, man. We'll certainly. I know you'll keep her honest. Take care.
Yeah, you're right, Steve. Yeah, I'm going to hold people accountable. There's no doubt. Yesterday, it was my mom, my brother, my sister. We went to Houston's last night for dinner on St. Charles Avenue. My whole family likes it. And it was very, very crowded. And we had a reservation. Morris Bart comes in there, wanted a table. They couldn't give him a table. He and his wife ended up leaving. It's just... They're not going to just give you a table because you're Morris Bart. They're crowded. They're packed. There are a bunch of other people waiting. They're not going to, in front of everybody else, seat him, So they weren't being jerks. They just told him he had to go. No, that's how you operate. That's how you operate. You got to have a thick skin. Got to be able to handle it. Coming right back, New Orleans.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
Artificial turf custom golf putting green. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters, and you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
New Orleans talk giant Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
I'll have the entire city of New Orleans in the palm of my hand.
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM. Also from Baton Rouge to Pensacola, Florida on 600 AM and 1560.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you on a Monday. I guess you're going to be like, Corey, you're not trying to be optimistic. This is the most pessimistic 30 minutes I've ever heard, 45 minutes I've ever heard. I think there's hope, and I do like Helena Moreno, and I think she's smart, and I think Steven Slidell said it best: capable, competent, honest, and he's a Republican. He's like, I don't subscribe to her ideology. I think she's capable, competent, and honest, but it just sort of blew my doors off a little bit. You know, New Orleans is a broken city. It's dysfunctional. It's been that way for 40 years. If I were Helena Moreno, I would have had a conservative Republican swear me in to send out a message to the city. I'm a Democrat. I'm liberal, but I'm going to work with the other side because this Democrat exclusive thing in New Orleans has been a failure, a bad experiment. Instead, Kamala Harris swears her in. It just reaffirmed the left thing. So I hope I'm wrong. I really do. The Junket Cantrell era is over, and that's a positive. I like getting this guy on. I've known him for 30 plus years. We basically started covering sports around the same time, early 90s. Mike Scalborough from TigerBait.com joins us for the next few minutes. What you say, Mike? Happy New Year, brother.
Hey, you too, Corey. Glad to be with you, man. It's been a while.
It has been a while. Hey, real quick, everybody, if you're an LSU fan, you love LSU athletics, this is the premier LSU sports site, TigerBait.com. And you can join it right now for $1. And if you don't like it in a week, cancel your subscription. But I promise you this, you join it for $1. It's a great deal. And then you will sign up permanently month in, month out. And I think what, Mike, it's about $9 a month, or you can sign up for the year and even save a few dollars a month overall, right?
Yeah, the annual's a better deal because you're basically getting 2 or 3 months free.
Yep, no doubt. Tigerbait.com. Go check out the website. The reason we've got Mike on, LSU and Lane Kiffin have found their starting quarterback, apparently, Mike. I checked out your story today.
Yeah, closing in on 30 total signees from the portal, and but went into the weekend without a quarterback. And of course, this is the last week that players can enter their name in the portal. And, a lot of LSU fans get a little nervous at the end of last week, but by midday on Monday, they had 2 quarterbacks and 2 in 24 hours. So absolutely solves that problem. Sam Levitt, of course, from Arizona State is a huge get for LSU. And Landon Clark from Elon. And if you've watched his film, that kid is an absolute stud. And certainly after watching Trinidad Chambliss do what he did from a small school, it makes people take a stronger look at a guy like him.
No doubt. When Lane Kiffin pulls a guy from Elon, you're like, hey, Chambliss at Ole Miss. That guy was from, where was he, Liberty or something?
Yeah, well, Liberty was one of the schools that was involved. But yeah, big
so,
time.
So I'm just like, it's amazing that, he's just a, savant kind of Lane Kiffin. He sees talent at any level, and he knows if that person can take it to the next level. So you've got a backup quarterback, and you've got most likely your starter in Arizona transfer, Sam Levitt. That's just a great move so far for LSU. They needed a starting quarterback. They got it. Mike, you talked about 30 transfer portal guys coming into LSU. All of these guys are like viable. They're, 3, 4, 5-star guys. A bunch of them had started at other places. A bunch of them have, untapped potential. The 30 or so that LSU lost in the transfer portal, I'm not knocking these guys, but kind of backups, guys that never reached their potential, maybe will, who knows? But my point is the net gain seems to be a big positive for LSU, right?
Right. And so there are 28 right now. You've got 4 offensive linemen. You probably need 8. So this class is going to be somewhere when it's all said and done in the mid-30s. And so that's a lot of new faces on a roster. And with a tough 9-game schedule for SEC schedule for 2026, and opening with Clemson again, it's going to be a pretty tall order. But look, I like getting Caden Durham back out of the portal to come back.
That was huge.
I want to see what a guy like that looks like in a Lane Kiffin offense. I'm even wondering if they shouldn't get Caleb Jackson to come back. I'm not ready to write off a guy who's 6'1", 225 pounds and has a 10.5, 100 meters. I'd like to see what a different running backs coach can do with a guy like him. A new offensive line with a new offensive line coach, and all the different things that Lane Kiffin does to move running backs around and have them be successful. So, plus Harlem Berry and on and on. So, I'd like to see it.
Lane Kiffin has proven, Mike, at Ole Miss, he's great in the transfer portal, and he's great taking all these new players and putting all the pieces together and having the team win. He's done it year in, year out at Ole Miss and Oxford. I mean, it just seems like at LSU, he'll have even more success.
Well, they put in the work. Look, he's been all over town. I was told yesterday after lunch, he was playing pickleball with some visiting recruits. He's involved in every level of this thing. Unlike the previous coach that was hands off and pretty much was there to seal the deal at the end and shake hands.
Yep.
He's involved in every part of this. And I think that between him and his general manager, Billy Glasscock, and all the player personnel people, I think they've done a bang-up job so far. I mean, you don't want to go every year where you've got to sign 30 plus. next year you'd love for it to be somewhere around 18 or 19, probably.
Yep. Well, I think, had no choice, Mike, had to supplement this roster. But I think the plan going forward will be great recruiting classes and then just filling a few holes with the transfer portal, not having to rebuild the roster with the transfer portal.
Right.
I think that's huge. Hey, speaking of regular recruiting, before we let you go, there's still a few more slots. There's still, the official national signing day, not the early national signing day. Will Kiffin bring in a few more 4- and 5-star guys? I'm anticipating he will.
I don't know if there's anything left out there on the board for the high school ranks. I tend to think that ship sailed on that group.
Even some uncommitted people that have no interest in LSU, you don't think he's going to pique their interest and maybe bring them in?
I'd have to see if there's any uncommitted. The high school haul was pretty much done in December.
Gotcha.
The February period is pretty much a nothing burger these days.
Tigerbait.com's the website. Go check it out. Mike, a pleasure, brother.
Talk soon. Thanks.
LSU has their new starting quarterback. 5 o'clock powwow coming your way right now.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spot. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spot.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And
you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it.
Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
When you need a new fence or automatic gate at your property or place of business, anywhere in Metro New Orleans, you got to see the Fence Man. For over 20 years, the Fence Man has been taking care of residential and commercial customers affordably and reliably. The Fence Man uses only the highest quality materials and products, whether wood, aluminum, or chain link. For fences and automatic gates, you got to see the Fence Man. TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. 5 o'clock power hour is upon us. Thanks for joining us on this Monday afternoon. 766-9480 is how you can dial us up. Don't be scared. The opposite. This is New Orleans, and I promise you, I'll be fair with you. I might disagree with you, might agree with you. But the great part is we don't screen phone calls, and I'll never cut you off. 766-9480, especially if we disagree. This is one of the few talk shows in America where we don't screen calls and don't cut off callers we disagree with. How many times have you listened to a talk show where the host is disagreeing with the caller? Then all of a sudden you don't hear the caller anymore. The host just keeps talking about a minute or so and then goes, Jimmy, thanks for the call. You know, they put Jimmy on hold an hour ago. You know, in radio, you know, I'm on TV too, so you can see me. I'm on social media, so you can see me. The host is going like this, get him off, get him out of there. You know, not saying it, just making panicking. And then the producer puts the caller on hold. The show host acts like the caller's still there. And then after the show host rattles on for about a minute, says, thank you for the call, and moves on. We don't do that. We don't screen and we don't cut off calls. 766-9480. Why would I do either? I mean, the screening thing was so silly to me. When I first got into this gig like 30 plus years ago, I'm like, I'm throwing out topics. No one's going to call about the Kennedy assassination. And if they do, I can handle it, you know? But they're going to call about the stuff we're talking about 99% of the time. So screening's unnecessary. Coupled with, I don't want the person that's calling in to, shoot their bullets with the producer. And Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx, has a big job to do. He doesn't have time to sit there and listen to you. Get on the air and talk to Corey about it. 766-9480. Finally, some hope, some expectations for New Orleans. Helena Moreno sworn in as the 63rd mayor in New Orleans. The Junket Cantrell era is officially over. She showed up today for the inauguration. I thought that would be a 50-50 chance. Mitch Landrieu, who I saw last night. I was having dinner with my mom, my mom, my sister, my brother, and Mitch Landrieu was in the restaurant. I said, Mitch, can you come on over and say hello to my mom? Because my mom's 95 years old. And he did. Very nice and gracious. He was at the inauguration today. So was Sidney Bartholomew. So was Junket Cantrell. I want to say some other former. No, I don't know. C. Ray Nagin. C. Ray Nagin was not there. Wow. The convicted felon didn't show up. Anyway, Helena Moreno sworn in as the 63rd mayor of New Orleans. Stephen Slidell, a conservative who said he doesn't, subscribe to Helena Moreno's ideology, said she's capable, she's competent, and she's honest. And I think that's very fair of Steve to say that. I think Helena Moreno is capable and competent and honest. So some optimism. Let's see where New Orleans can go. Now, one thing I'm a little concerned with, and I talk about this all the time, it's hard to find a conservative or Republican voice anywhere in New Orleans government. I can't think of a single elected official or even an anointed or appointed one. And that, to me, is a major problem. New Orleans has been on like a 40-year slide. A lot of dysfunction in New Orleans, a lot of dysfunction in New Orleans city government, and it is entirely Democrat and liberal run. There's not a conservative to be found. I think that's a problem. I remember when Royce Duplessis came in studio and I was kind of busting his chops about a commercial he had, which I thought was racially aligned, us, we, black versus white. We discussed that. He knew I was going to discuss that. He still came in. That's called integrity. And I told Royce, I'm like, Royce, you want to win this election? Tell people right now, 25% of your staff, 25% of your advisors, 25% of your appointees will be conservative Republicans. 25%, what's the big deal? 75% still liberal Democrats. And Royce was like, interesting. He wasn't like, no, that's crazy. I wish Helena Moreno would do the same thing. And I think she had an opportunity that she missed today. The person swearing her in, the person that was, there when she got sworn in, she picked Kamala Harris, the former vice president who lost to Donald Trump in the presidential election. And you can sit there if you're liberal and say it was too short a time. If the Democrats would have 86 Joe Biden earlier and Kamala Harris would have been there from day one, a lot would have changed. I think Kamala Harris didn't win because most of America, including a lot of Democrats, don't think Kamala Harris is presidential material. I'd love to see a female president. Got no problem with that. I'd love to see a black female president. Got no problem with that. But you don't vote for that just to get a black female or a female person in. You don't. You don't. It's pretty simple. You vote in the best. Mario Brothers during the break last hour said it best. She could have Kamala Harris. She could have a bunch of transgender folks. She could have pro-abortion rally people. As long as she wins, as long as she gets the job done, as long as New Orleans moves ahead, as long as we're a winning city again, as long as young college graduates want to come here, Fortune 500 companies want to locate here, that type of thing. Hell, she could be communist for all I care if the city moved ahead like Atlanta, Houston, Dallas, Nashville, Austin, on and on and on. So maybe some hope for New Orleans, some expectations, but I think kind of a missed opportunity. I'm an advisor on Helena Moreno's staff. I'd be like, Helena, have Kamala Harris here. You're friends with her. She's friends with you. I hear you. Have her here. But have a conservative Republican swear you in to send the message out that this is going to be a diverse staff and administration. And we know that an all liberal Democrat staff or administration does not work. We've seen 40 plus years of that in New Orleans. I would have said, no way Kamala Harris swears you in. Let's do the opposite. Get a conservative Republican to swear you in. 766-9480 is the phone number. Dial us up. 766-9480. Corey Johnson with you till 6 o'clock. Love to hear from you. We don't screen calls. We won't cut you off. 766-9480. This was kind of mind-blowing. Vice President J.D. Vance says ICE agent Jonathan Ross, the one who shot and killed the 37-year-old woman who was trying to flee, and that's what I think. She was trying to flee. She wasn't trying to run over ICE agents. She wasn't a terrorist. He has absolute immunity. That's mind-blowing to me. Trump, Vance, Noem, they've all said the killing was justified. If the killing was justified, why even have an investigation? Why is the president, the vice president, and Kristi Noem saying the killing was justified? We're all watching the same video. Folks that think it's justified think it's justified. Folks like me think it wasn't. That's why you have an investigation. The FBI, Minnesota people have an investigation. And by the way, if the ICE agent was justified, isn't that basically saying the Capitol Police in D.C. on January 6th could have shot and killed protesters? Dozens and dozens, if not like 100 plus. If Jonathan Ross, the ICE agent, was justified in shooting the 37-year-old woman in Minneapolis, if you're going by that, wouldn't you clearly be saying that the Capitol Police in D.C. on January 6th could have shot and killed dozens, if not over 100 protesters, and they would have been justified. Tell me how it's any different. 766-9480. What's good for the goose, good for the gander. 766-9480. Don't be scared to call. Finally, President Trump will meet with Maria Corina Machado at the White House on Thursday. Mario, CH in Spanish is a ch sound. It's Machado. Machado. Finally, President Trump. Did I say chump? That's a good Freudian slip.
How has nobody come up with that? I
President
feel like
Chump.
That should be like a mainstream.
Boy, I think I just came up with it. That's the ultimate Freudian slip.
President Chump.
I kind of think he's sort of a chump. Everybody knows I'm not a fan of Donald Trump.
Even people that don't have to acknowledge it's a good nickname.
I may have to post that. I may have to post exactly what you said. Like him or not, how has no one come up with President Chump? Anyway, President Trump, I just pissed off a bunch of MAGA folks. President Trump will meet with Maria Corina Machado at the White House this Thursday. She's the one who won the Venezuelan election. There doesn't need to be a new election. She won the election. There isn't a, expert or country in the world, unless they're, pro-communism and dictatorship, that doesn't think that's the case. Most folks think it was like 70% of the vote plus. But President Trump says she doesn't have the support within or the respect within the country. Doesn't have the respect. She won the election like you won the election. Acknowledge that. I don't get it. I mean, we're in a democracy. It's America. You've gone in, you got, Maduro out of there. Obviously, I think President Trump doesn't like Maria Corina Machado for some reason or not, can't control her. I don't know what it is. Wants to put someone in that he can control. I have no idea. But she won the election. There doesn't need to be a quick election. There doesn't need to be a new election. Put her in as president. So hopefully Thursday that happens. She has totally, like the oil guys. It's an honor, President. You're doing a great job. All knowing what to do. Kiss his butt so they get taken care of. She's like, I'll give you the Nobel Peace Prize. President Trump put her in as president of Venezuela already. Corey Johnson with you. Coming right back.
One of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Simlawn Artificial Turf Custom Golf Putting Green. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate.
Total maintenance, keep you cool. TM-JC.com, no cool spots.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet. Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson, where the grass hasn't been cut in weeks or months. There's a lot of trash and garbage on the neutral ground, maybe even a person or two taking a nap. And oh, someone didn't pick up the dog.
Yeah, you right. You should have heard the conversation Mario Brothers and I just had during the break, talking about all this stuff going on in the world. So much stuff going on. Finally, some hope for New Orleans. Helena Moreno sworn in as the 63rd mayor in New Orleans. I was kind of bummed out that Kamala Harris, and I don't hate Kamala Harris. I just don't think she's qualified to be president. I think she's like hyper liberal. And if I were an advisor to Helena Moreno, I'd be like, Helena, I know you like her. Y'all are friends. She wants to come to your inauguration. Have her right up there. Have her front and center. Don't have her swear you in. Let's go the opposite route, Helena. I'm one of your advisors, if I was. Let's have a conservative Republican swear you in. So it sends the message out that this is going to be a diverse administration, not just a liberal one. 766-9480. 766-9480. I said it a little while ago, kind of mind-blowing. Vice President J.D. Vance says ICE agent Jonathan Ross, who shot the 37-year-old in Minneapolis, has absolute immunity. Why? Why would, seriously, I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. I don't care if J.D. Vance is a liberal or a conservative. Why is the vice president saying this ICE agent has absolute immunity? Why is President Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and Noam saying the killing was justified? Why do they have a definitive opinion on this, yet they're still having an investigation, which just tells me the investigation is fixed. The fix is in, especially when they told Minnesota folks, you're not going to be involved in the investigation. You want Minnesota folks involved in the investigation. The FBI is going to have the final say anyway. Trump's going to manipulate it anyway. But when you overtly do this, it just yells of, injustice. And it's not good because maybe one day it's you that's getting attacked. And you want American justice, not something manipulated. But President Trump is a control freak and he wants things his way, and that's how it is. Now, the investigation, like the fix is in. So someone explain to me, 766-9480, you can dial up right now. Someone explain to me if Jonathan Ross was justified in shooting the 37-year-old woman in Minneapolis. Wouldn't ICE agents, I should say, if ICE agents were justified, isn't that saying that the Capitol Police in Washington, D.C. on January 6th would have been justified shooting dozens, if not over 100 protesters invading the Capitol? Someone explain to me how that's wrong. 766-9480. If you're saying the ICE agent in Minneapolis was justified in shooting the 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good, aren't you saying the Capitol Police would have been justified shooting dozens, if not over 100, D.C. rioters on January 6th? 766-9480. You want me to call them protesters? We can call them protesters. I think they're rioters. 766-9480. Correct me. Steer me in the right direction. Don't be scared. 766-9480. Thursday, President Trump meets with the winner of the Venezuelan election, Maria Corina Machado. But for some reason, Trump doesn't think she's legitimate. She won the election with over 70% of the vote. Trump says, quote, she doesn't have the support within or the respect within the country. She won the election with 70+% of the vote. She did better in Venezuela with a dictator at the controls than you did in the last election. No, it's mind-blowing. Trump has an agenda. He wants someone in there that he can control. I mean, this woman's like, she's playing the appeasement game. It's like those oil executives. Every single one of them. Thank you, Donald Trump, for your presidency. You're doing a great job. I mean, you think they all think that? You think every one of them thinks that? Or you think they sat around and said, dude, you got to kiss this guy's rear end, placate him, appease him, and then you're in. Anything else, anything less, and you could be ousted. The guy is emotional, he's impulsive, he's egomaniacal, and he's insecure. He'll come after you if you don't kiss his rear end. Maria Corina Machado fully gets that. I dedicate my Nobel Peace Prize to Donald Trump. I will give you the Nobel Peace Prize. The Nobel Peace Prize, folks are saying it's not something you can give away. She's the winner. That's how it is. Now, she can do whatever she wants with the physical medal, but or even the prize money. Yeah, you get prize money. But, so she wants to give it to Trump, and that's still not enough. It's kind of mind-blowing. I don't know what she needs to do. Well, maybe I know what she needs to do. If Melania is looking the other way, maybe Maria Corina Machado will hook up with the Trump stick. That might get her over the top. Hey, we go in the bedroom. You're going to be president of Venezuela. 766-9480. Like I said, don't be scared. Dial us up. The feds, the EPA to be exact, could have a criminal investigation going on that Smitty's supply explosion and fire in Roseland. That thing is being just sort of forgotten and underappreciated in a it's a bad thing. If we didn't have rain for a long time, we're in a drought-like condition, and that's sort of indirectly a blessing because it shows what all this toxic sludge and crap that was, emitted from this facility does to our environment. Farm animals coated in it, crops coated in it, water's all fouled up. No, it rains heavily, it dilutes it, and it doesn't go anywhere, just sinks into the ground, spreads all around, but it dissipates it somewhat. No, this is like a major environmental mishap. I'm not going to say it's like, the Valdez oil spill or the BP oil disaster off the Louisiana coast 15 years ago, but it is a major environmental disaster on any American level. And it's sort of the media is not talking about it enough. And I just think it's sort of being ignored. And I think a lot of people up in Tangipahoa Parish deserve a lot better. LSU and Lane Kiffin have found their starting quarterback, Arizona State transfer, Sam Levitt, coming to the Tigers. They got it done. They even got a backup, like a Chambliss type guy. Well, I don't know if this guy's black, white, running quarterback, pocket quarterback, know nothing about him. When I say Chambliss type guy, comes from Elon, that little college, I think, out of North Carolina or Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. Where's Elon, Mario? Is it North Carolina?
It's definitely in Carolina.
It's in the Carolinas?
A lot of kids from Brother Martin went there.
Yeah, it's just a small little school. But this quarterback supposedly very dynamic, and Chambliss came out of like Liberty or something like that.
He came from D2, Ferris State, actually.
Okay. So
not even D1.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, you got to respect Lane Kiffin being able to eye talent, especially the quarterback position. Chambliss comes out of nowhere and is like a, all-American type, all SEC. One win away from the national title game for Ole Miss. So you got Sam Levitt as your starter. You got this guy from Elon as your backup. Lane Kiffin getting it done in Tiger Town. Pretty amazing.
Already more proactive than Brian Kelly was, in my opinion.
Yeah, and not on that little discotheque spinning thing with the lights either.
Yes.
You're not going to see Lane Kiffin doing that. That's one of the most embarrassing videos ever.
Yes.
The country accent at the PMAC when he was introduced, day one, and then the video of the spinning light thing was absurdly ridiculous.
All that was really funny, but just the lack of being proactive. Like, how many times did you see Brian Kelly post a picture of an airport because he's going to get a recruit?
Yeah,
zero.
no,
How many
no,
times have you
exactly
seen Brian Kelly have a week this good in the transfer portal?
I mean, the disco check thing, Mario. I married a Greek girl, and I love her family. They're great. I'm divorced. I still love her as a friend. My former mother-in-law is the sweetest, most gracious, wonderful woman in the world, like a second mother to me. I love her. I see her. We don't miss a beat. It's like, was with her yesterday. I'm still married to a daughter. It's like that. I love her. They're Greek. I love the Greek community in New Orleans. Greek folks like to dance and have a good time. I have very few regrets in life. Seriously. One of the biggest regrets, I do not dance, Mario. And it sucks. I wish I did. I just can't let go and dance.
Okay.
You know how many, anyone that doesn't dance, you know how many women opportunities we've missed by not being able to dance? Yeah. You could double the quota of your lifetime, dates and the like being with females if you would dance. And I don't. And it doesn't bum me out, but it's a regret. I wish I could let go and dance.
You don't dance. Not you don't dance well. You don't dance.
No, I don't dance, period. I could slow dance.
Okay.
But I mean, I can't go out on a disco floor and start dancing. I suck.
Okay.
And I'm conscious of it, and I can't stop thinking like everybody's looking at me and I suck at this, and it's embarrassing. Okay. So when, at the Greek wedding, they got that like second line thing going that the Greek folks do, the big circular thing. Opa. And I went in there and did that. It's my wedding. And I'll never forget, one of my best friends said, dude, you looked so uncomfortable doing that, like the last place you wanted to be. I was like, wow, that's interesting, because that's how I felt. That's Brian Kelly on the disco ball thing.
Yes.
Why would you go do that by choice? I mean, I kind of didn't have a choice in a way. It's the Greek community. I love them. I felt obligated. I love my wife. I felt obligated to go do that, but I sucked at it. And my friend was like, dude, wow. Anyway, no, another buddy of mine, it's hysterical, Mario Brothers. We're at like the party after his wedding, and, white people with the overbite with the white handkerchief doing the second line thing kind of can be embarrassing in a way, Yeah. Lack of rhythm and the like. Just a bunch of dorky white folks trying to be hip. I'm like on one side, like on the outside of like the party, and this second line starts, and everybody starts doing the white overbite, teeth overbite thing, and the handkerchiefs. And there were black people there too, but mostly white. And my buddy, who was the groom who got married, he's on the other side of the crowd. And I see him, he like comes out a door and he goes, whoa. And he turns around, opens the door, and goes inside this room and close the door because he didn't want to participate in the second line. So anyway, after about 5 minutes, the second line dies down. He pops out of that room and comes back in and joins the party. I go walk over to the room. It's a closet. It's a closet with like brooms and mops. He stood in it for 5 minutes waiting for the second line to pass. I'm like, he was smart. He's like, I don't have anything to do with this. I can't dance. I'm not good at this second line thing, and I don't want to embarrass myself. It was pretty funny. Corey Johnson with your 5 o'clock powwow, 766-9480. Dial us up. Yeah, you right. Coming right back.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
When you need a new fence or automatic gate at your property or place of business, anywhere in Metro New Orleans, you got to see the Fence Man. For over 20 years, the Fence Man has been taking care of residential and commercial customers affordably and reliably. The Fence Man uses only the highest quality materials and products, whether wood, aluminum, or chain link. For fences and automatic gates, you got to see the Fence Man. thefenceman-neworleans.com.
The true voice of New Orleans, telling it like it is. Corey Johnson.
Yeah, you right. Monday afternoon, 5 o'clock powwow. Rouse's is back. Yeah, you right. Rouse's. Very fired up about that. Rouse's Markets, part of the neutral ground again. Best quality, best price, quality, selection, price. That's what Rouse's is all about. And convenience. Every single Rouse's opens at 7 a.m. Some open even earlier, like 6 a.m. The earliest any Rouse's Markets close, 10 p.m. Some stay open later, like 11 or midnight. I'll go hit that LaBar Rouse's, LaBar and Airline right by Causeway. They're open at like 11. The one on Clearview, open till 11, which is nice. You might catch me in there like on a Sunday night, getting my apples and bananas and my stuff for the week, water, that kind of stuff. Rouse's Markets. No, the Gulf South's grocery store. Over 65 years, over 65 locations. Tastes like home, Rouse's Markets. Hey, it's king cake season. If you go into your neighborhood Rouse's right now, you can smell that legendary cinnamon dough, that recipe that's like 50 plus years old. You can just smell it. It's just the scent is throughout the store. All these Rouse's locations baking these king cakes from scratch. You can get about 25 different varieties. I'm a basic kind of guy. I like the original, just the dough and the cinnamon, no cream filled, but they've got about 25 cream filled king cakes. And they even sell, this is what I love about Rouse's, they sell the king cake by the slice. They'll cut up king cakes and put them in a little box. Now, I don't need a whole king cake. I just need a few slices. Rouse's Markets got you covered for Mardi Gras. Oh, and by the way, you want to send that Rouse's king cake to your buddies out of state? Rouse's.com. You can order the king cake. They'll ship it to your friends or family in any of the 48 states. I don't think Alaska or Hawaii because of the time, and I guess the king cake won't be good at that point, but the 48 or 47 other contiguous states. Rouse's.com. Send your friends and family a king cake right now. Rouse's.com. Glad to have them back on the program. No, I'm a Rouse's shopper. I go to a bunch of groceries, but primarily I'm at Rouse's at least once a week. And you know what else is cool about Rouse's? I live by the sewage and water board, like where Claiborne turns into Jefferson Highway, right by the Lowe's, right by the sewage and water board, kind of the Carrollton neighborhood. There are 4 Rouse's less than 10 minutes from me. There's the one on, Tchoupitoulas and Napoleon. I just don't go down Claiborne and Napoleon. There's one a little closer than that on Ferret, the Ferret Jet, in between Jefferson and Napoleon, the little boutique store. I could go down Carrollton to Mid-City by Bienville, the Rouse's in Mid-City, New Orleans. Or I could go River Road to Causeway, the one I just mentioned, the Rouse's on La Barre and Airline by Causeway. Hell, if I go Earhart Expressway from my house, I can get to the Clearview Rouse's in less than 10 minutes. On Clearview, in between, what is that, Airline and West Metairie? Convenience, they're everywhere, including just a few minutes from you. Your way home from work, you probably pass 2 or 3 Rouse's. Rouse's.com. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday afternoon. Yeah, you right. Finally, some hope for New Orleans. Helena Moreno sworn in as the 63rd mayor in New Orleans. The Junket Cantrell era is officially over. I'm optimistic. Helena Moreno. Stephen Slidell, a conservative, called last hour. He says Helena Moreno, he goes, don't agree with her ideology, but she's capable, competent, and honest. And I believe that. She is capable, she is competent, she is honest. One thing that was a turnoff today, I think a major missed opportunity that sends kind of a wrong message in a way instead of a positive message in a way, at least to me. And I got nothing against Kamala Harris. I didn't vote for her, but I've got nothing against her as a person. I'm not some, wacky right-winger that thinks she's evil and I hate her. But New Orleans is broken and dysfunctional. It basically has, an exclusive when it comes to political ideology with Democrats and liberals. Oftentimes not even moderate, loony left and woke, extreme. And the city's been broken for 40 plus years. And I mean, outside of like Peggy Wilson and maybe a couple of other, Jay Batt, a few other conservatives, it's hard to come up with a list of conservative or Republicans that have been elected in New Orleans or that the mayor or people that can anoint or appoint people have anointed or appointed Republican conservatives. Today in New Orleans government for the last decade plus, I can't think of one Republican or conservative that was elected or appointed, anointed to any position. Not one. And that's a major problem. So if I were an advisor to Helena Moreno, I would have said, Helena, have Kamala Harris come to your inauguration. She's your friend. You know her. She knows you. Y'all are legitimate friends. But instead of having her swear you in, I've got an idea. Let's go with a conservative Republican that you're friends with, that you like you like Kamala Harris. Let's have that person, male or female, swear you in. A conservative Republican. That would have just sent out the message that we're going to have a diverse administration. And black, white, gay, straight, old, young, all that's great. But Republican Democrat is part of diversity too, and is much needed in New Orleans. I mean, we are liberal Democrat run government exclusively. I had Royce Duplessis on the show in studio a few months back. And I said, Royce, I told Oliver Thomas this, you want to win the election? Tell the public that 25%, 1 out of 4 appointees, 1 out of 4 advisors, etc., are going to be conservative Republicans. Just 1 out of 4. 3 out of 4, 75% are still going to be your liberal Democrat friends. But have 25% be your conservative friends. One thing I liked about John Bel Edwards as governor, I'm not sitting here and go, John Bel Edwards was a great governor. What I liked about him was he was a blue dog Democrat, like a moderate. He wasn't a loony leftist. He wasn't woke at all. He was pro-guns, anti-abortion. I'm pro-guns, but I'm pro-choice. For me, I'm anti-abortion. For the public, I'm pro-choice. John Bel Edwards brought in, as his chief of staff, Jay Darden, a Republican, a staunch conservative. And it was funny conservatives in the state are like, he's a rhino. He's not a real Republican. I'm like, okay, really? And then the liberals in the state were like, John Bel Edwards, we win the governor's state, mansion in a conservative state, and you're going to bring a conservative onto your administration. I was like, that's great. It shows the diversity. It shows he wants to get the other opinion, the other side of things. He's still the governor. He's going to make the ultimate call, but he's, got someone advising him that is opposite or different from his ideology. Now, if I were an advisor to Helena Moreno, I would have said, Helena, have Kamala Harris there all day long, but let's have a conservative Republican swear you in instead of her. I thought that would have been a huge call, a positive. So I think a missed opportunity and a negative in a way, because it sends out the message, like, especially to conservative Republicans, that, boy, this is just another liberal mayor of New Orleans. Kamala Harris swore in. Need I say more? Hard to argue with that. So I think that was kind of a missed opportunity. I think her advisors dropped the ball. I would have said, no, Kamala Harris swearing you in. Let's get a conservative Republican to send that message out that this is going to be a truly diverse, on every level, administration. 766-9480. Hey, Mike Scalborough joined us from TigerBait.com last hour. LSU and Lane Kiffin have found their starting quarterback, Tiger fans. Arizona State transfer Sam Leavitt, one of the biggest names in the transfer portal. LSU and Lane Kiffin have found their starting quarterback, Arizona transfer Sam Leavitt. Excellent. Uh-oh. It's time for Mario's outfit du jour.
What are you wearing? I don't get how guys dress today. I mean, come on.
Mario Brothers loves his sports garb. He appears to have a Detroit Lions blue zip-down hoodie on, although he's going to correct me on that, but it certainly looks that way. It's the blue collar. It's got the little line up there. And then he's got on a T-shirt. This is amazing. Forkum Devils, ASU. He's got on Sam Leavitt's old school attire. Where'd you get that bad boy? That's a great T-shirt with the devil and the pitchfork.
Thank you. I swear it's a total coincidence that I'm wearing this today.
Seriously?
Yes.
Seriously?
Total coincidence.
Wow.
Yes.
I thought you were representing Mario.
No.
I like your honesty.
Thank you. So this was a gift. I do a Secret Santa every year with my college buddies that I rode at the Daily Reveille with. Shout out to the Daily Reveille at LSU.
Wow.
And we always get each other home field gear. I don't know if you heard of the brand Home Field. They make college football apparel. And every year we pick different schools that we want to receive their gear. Arizona State was on my list this year. Hence the T-shirt, man. Supposedly the #1 party school in the U.S., Arizona State.
Well, I think it's like Tulane or LSU. But
Tulane and ASU are always up there. That they have.
Tulane's in New Orleans, for crying out loud, and LSU is a major party school.
Exactly.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
What, you don't think?
Baton Rouge is just kind of a big town,
No, it is. But I mean, every bar in there is full of college students.
For
I mean,
sure.
are you kidding me?
I don't know if it competes with New Orleans, which I've experienced. I've never experienced Tempe before, but I definitely want to.
Anyway, that's a cool T-shirt.
Yes. Good get by Lane Kiffin, by the way.
My buddy Curtis Heyman used to co-host this show with me 25 years ago. He was working in the Tulane athletic department when Katrina hit. He got 2 feet of water in his house on the 2nd floor.
Man.
He lost everything. And it was amazing. He, all his fellow cohorts in athletic departments all around the country, some he knew, some he didn't know. They sent him garb to wear, clothes. And for like the first 3 months after Katrina, he'd be in ASU stuff, Duke, USC. He's got so much stuff from around the country where these people just helped him out. It was pretty amazing.
Yep, I'm adding to my collection. I got like Utah, Jacksonville State. I have a few obscure schools.
I'll never forget, Mario. I was after covering the storm for a while, I went up to see my mom and dad in Virginia. And I drove up there and I was just out of my mind. I was speeding the whole way. It's just, post Katrina, I was kind of whacked. I got pulled over 3 different times. 0 tickets.
Man.
One officer was like, do you need money? One officer had his arm around me, walked me to the car and said, slow down, but hope you're all right. 3 times I got pulled over on that trip, 0 tickets. Coming right back, New Orleans.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, no cool spots. TM-AC.com, no cool spots.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Artificial turf custom golf putting greens. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate.
If it's a weekday afternoon in New Orleans, it's got to be
It's a party every week, baby.
Corey Johnson.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. Brett Martell's going to join us in about 60 seconds. Another Martell Monday. Hey, LGD Lawn and Landscapes. They installed a chipping and putting green in my backyard. If you go to my Twitter at Corey Johnson, it's the pinned post. The first post you'll see. Video of my chipping and putting green in my own backyard. I still pinch myself. I'll go back there like once a day for 5 or 10 minutes. That's it. And chip and putt. Now, I've had friends come over. We drink beer and we go chip and putt, and it's fun. But I'll just go back there 5-6 minutes. Over a week, I've done an hour of practicing and, chipping and putting in my own backyard. If you have like a little patch of grass in your backyard, especially if you have a swimming pool, call LGD Lawn and Landscapes. They'll give you an absolutely free estimate on installation of artificial turf or synthetic turf in your backyard. Or you can even take it up a level if you have a golfer in your family and get a chipping and putting green like I did in my own backyard. Yeah, and my short game is improving. For an absolutely free estimate on synthetic or artificial turf in your backyard, or even a chipping and putting green, and it's much more affordable than you think, and zero maintenance. NOLALGD.com. NOLA LGD.com. LSU and Lane Kiffin have found their starting quarterback. Arizona State transfer Sam Levitt will be tossing it for the Tigers. They even got a backup. They got 28 folks so far coming in from the portal. All of them seem like viable players that can contribute. Now, LSU has lost about 30 or so in the transfer portal, but I would say 90% of them, you know, I don't want to be a jerk, but I don't think they're going to be all that missed. Brett Martell joins us. It's another Martell Monday. Brett's been with the Associated Press for like 30 years. What's happening, Brett?
Hey, Corey.
How you doing, man?
Good. A little cold. I'm outside. My daughter has a soccer game.
Oh, boy. Yeah, it is. That wind will bite you, and the sun's going down.
Yeah.
Hey, LSU landed their starting quarterback, Brett.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good sign. And they needed one, really. So yeah, they got a couple guys. They also got the transfer from Elon, right? So, and look, you saw what Lane could do as a, Division II quarterback. I mean, a lot of that was on, Chambliss himself, but
no, but he recognized the talent and brought him in. Right. I mean, normally I'd say you brought in a quarterback from Elon. That's not going to work. But it's Lane Kiffin doing it. You're like, that's going to work.
Yeah, it could work certainly. So yeah, I mean, it's his first year, and we'll have to see what happens. But I would expect there to be a lot of excitement and very competitive football as they get going here. There's just a lot of uncertainty, obviously, with anytime there's a new regime like that.
Yep. What Lane Kiffin did, I mean, you mentioned the QB, Chambliss. We mentioned this QB from Elon. What he's done in the transfer portal, what he did for Ole Miss, I mean, I don't think it's a rebuild, Brett. It's not a reload either, I guess. It's something in between. But I guess what I'm getting at is Tiger fans are expecting a winner next year, like a team that, can compete with the SEC's elite and maybe even make waves.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely with they want what they're paying for.
Yep.
And you don't swoop in and get a playoff team's coach and pay him an enormous salary and not expect quick results when you have all of the resources and facilities that LSU has. So,
yep.
He's going to come in with a lot of expectations. Look, I mean, it's tough because I'm sure Tennessee had high hopes for him, and then he did pretty well there, but left, and I'm sure USC had high hopes for him. I'm sure the Raiders had high hopes for him. It doesn't always work out, and it hasn't always worked out with him. But it certainly did at Ole Miss.
Well, he's older. He's more mature now. I think he's a different coach than back then, maybe not as impulsive. One thing, Brett, he's proven at Ole Miss he can go to that transfer portal, get those new players cohesive, playing as a team, and win. Now, at Ole Miss, I think that would be a yearly routine. High school recruiting, Ole Miss is only going to do so well. He's going to have to supplement it with transfer portal guys. Every year in Oxford, he did it, and he was successful. I think in Baton Rouge, eventually, it's going to be the high school recruiting class that leads the way, top 3, 5 in the country, maybe even sometimes number 1. And then the transfer portal will be used to supplement a few positions, not bringing in 30-plus players every year. This year, they had no choice. I think in the future, it'll be recruiting class first, transfer portal second.
I'm with you. I'm with you all the way on that. And again, there's he's got the same kind of region of tremendous talent to work with. It's just that now he's at the Louisiana flagship school, so it should be all that much easier.
Yep. Hey, Brett, were you at the sold-out PMAC yesterday for LSU's Texas win?
I was, yeah.
That was an insane environment, huh?
Yeah, it was the best environment I've seen in that building, in a while. And I have to say, it was an impressive win by LSU. They did it the Mulkey way, which is, it wasn't great shooting. It was just timely shooting, but it was really the hustle. It was really pressuring, putting more pressure on Texas than Texas put on them.
What were the Longhorns? They were undefeated in 1 or 2 going into that game?
They were ranked They were ranked number 2. They were 18-0. It was their best start to a season since they went undefeated in 1985, 86, and won the national championship.
Wow.
And they came in to LSU and trailed at halftime and never led in the never. LSU led the entire second half and by as much as 13. And when they needed a big shot with 1:20 left, Michaela Williams, who had 20 points, hit a clutch 3. And it was pretty much over after that. I mean, Texas scored a couple more buckets, but they never got closer than 5 points. And the clock ran out. So there was no last second possession. There was no, it was pretty much a fait accompli after Michaela Williams 3-pointer, because they continued to play lockdown defense after that and didn't really give Texas a sniff. So it was a Class A performance by LSU, and something they really needed to reestablish themselves after a shaky start to conference play with losses against Kentucky and Vanderbilt before they trounced Georgia last Thursday.
Yep. Yeah. Started 0-2 in SEC play. Now they're back in the top 10 where they belong. Brett, any final thoughts before we visit again next week and you go back out there and check out your daughter playing soccer?
Right. Well, the Pelicans, they're trying to right the ship. It's going to be a long slog, but they got 2 games this week at home. Could be interesting to see if they can show some signs of improvement.
Yeah, Blue Boys saying what? They've lost 9 or 10 in a row?
No, they won one a couple nights ago, but yeah, they've lost like 9 out of 10.
Yikes. Brett,
Okay.
yeah, that's right. They won the other night. That's right. A pleasure, Brett.
You got it. Take care.
Go check out the AP. Google AP, Brett Martell. You'll get all his stuff. See you mañana, New Orleans, on Tuesday. Junket Cantrell's done. Helena Moreno, officially mayor of the city.
On TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube. On radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.